3 months before Bruce Lee's mysterious death in July 1973, he walked onto a television stage for what would become one of the most profound interviews ever recorded. What he said that day wasn't just about martial arts. It was about the very essence of human existence. And these words, these final public teachings, contain a power that most people completely miss. But here's what they don't tell you. Those weren't just casual thoughts shared during an interview. They were the culmination of a man who had spent his entire life studying not just the art of fighting, but the art of living. A man who had reached a level of understanding that most of us will never touch. And in that moment, facing the camera, Bruce Lee delivered wisdom that would echo through generations. The question is, are you ready to hear what he really meant? The hidden power behind, "Be like water." Most people think they understand Bruce Lee's most famous quote. They repeat it, post it on social media, nod their heads, and move on. But they're missing the revolutionary psychology behind these words. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Here's the truth nobody talks about. This isn't just a metaphor about adaptation. This is a complete blueprint for psychological freedom. Think about it. Water doesn't resist the container it's placed in. It doesn't fight the bottle, doesn't argue with the cup, doesn't rebel against the teapot. But here's the crucial part: everyone misses water, always finds a way. Bruce Lee understood something that most people spend their entire lives struggling with. The difference between adaptation and submission. The difference between flowing and surrendering. Water adapts, but it's never defeated. It changes form, but it never loses its essential nature. When you truly understand this principle, everything changes. Your relationships, your career, your entire approach to life's obstacles transforms completely. The words that reveal your true enemy. But Bruce Lee didn't stop there. In that same interview, he said something that cuts straight to the core of human suffering. Your greatest asset in the world is your mindset. If you can stay positive in a negative situation, you win. Most people hear this and think it's just positive thinking nonsense. They're wrong. This is advanced psychological warfare against your own limitations. Bruce Lee identified the real battlefield. It's not out there. It's not your circumstances, your boss, your relationships, or your bank account. The real battlefield is between your ears. Every single day, you're fighting a war against the voice that tells you why you can't, why you shouldn't, why you're not good enough. And here's the devastating truth. Most people lose this war before they even realize they're fighting it. Bruce Lee recognized that external circumstances are just the arena. The real fight is internal. When you master your mindset, you don't just survive negative situations, you transform them into opportunities. The teaching method that changes everything. I'm not teaching you anything. I just help you to explore yourself. This might be the most misunderstood statement Bruce Lee ever made. People think it sounds humble, wise, maybe even a little mystical. But they're missing the profound psychological principle at work here. Bruce Lee discovered something that modern psychology is just beginning to understand. The answers you seek already exist within you, but they're buried under layers of conditioning, fear, doubt, and other people's opinions. Think about every major breakthrough in your life. Every moment of clarity, every time you solved a problem, every instant when you knew exactly what to do. Where did that knowledge come from? It came from within. It was always there, waiting. Traditional teaching tries to pour information into your mind like filling a bucket. Bruce Lee's approach was different. He saw his role as helping you remove the obstacles that were preventing your own wisdom from emerging. This is why his teachings feel so powerful, so immediate, so personally relevant. He's not giving you someone else's answers. He's helping you discover your own. The uncomfortable truth about anger. The best fighter is never angry. Control your anger, because if you have anger towards others, they control you. Most people completely misinterpret this teaching. They think Bruce Lee is saying you should suppress your anger, push it down, pretend it doesn't exist. That's not just wrong, it's dangerous. Bruce Lee understood something most people never learn: anger isn't the problem. Being controlled by anger is the problem. When someone makes you angry, they've just gained control over your emotional state. They've dictated how you feel. They've determined your internal experience. In that moment, you've given them power over you. But here's the key: you can feel anger without being controlled by it. You can acknowledge it, understand it, even use its energy, without letting it drive your decisions. The master doesn't eliminate emotions. The master remains in control while experiencing them fully. The secret of true strength. To be the best, you must be able to handle the worst. This isn't motivational speaking. This is psychological preparation for reality. Life will test you. Not might test you, will test you. The question isn't whether you'll face difficulties, setbacks, failures, and pain. The question is, will you be ready? Most people spend their time avoiding discomfort, running from challenges, seeking the easy path. But Bruce Lee understood that this approach actually makes you weaker, more fragile, less capable. True strength isn't built in comfort. True strength is forged in the fire of difficulty. When you can handle your worst moments with grace, dignity, and determination, everything else becomes manageable. When you've prepared for the storm, the gentle rain feels like a blessing. The philosophy that transcends fighting: rule your mind, or it will rule you. This is where Bruce Lee's teaching transcends martial arts and becomes pure psychology. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. There's no middle ground. Every thought you think, every story you tell yourself, every belief you hold is either empowering you or limiting you. Every mental habit is either building you up or tearing you down. The untrained mind is like a wild animal. It jumps from worry to fear to doubt to regret without any conscious direction. It creates problems that don't exist, magnifies small issues into major crises, and convinces you that you're powerless when you're actually incredibly capable. But when you learn to rule your mind, everything changes. You stop being the victim of your thoughts and become their director. You stop being controlled by circumstances and start creating them. The ultimate teaching: you only fail when you stop trying. This might seem simple, even obvious. But hidden within these words is the secret to overcoming any obstacle, achieving any goal, transforming any area of your life. Failure isn't an event. Failure is a decision. The decision to stop trying. Everything else, every setback, every mistake, every disappointment is just feedback. It's information. It's data you can use to adjust your approach, refine your strategy, and move closer to your goal. The only real failure is the decision to quit. Everything else is just part of the process. Why these words will change your life forever. Bruce Lee's final public teachings weren't just philosophical observations. They were practical tools for psychological transformation. They were instructions for becoming the person you were always meant to be. But here's what makes these teachings so powerful. They don't just inspire you. They challenge you. They don't just motivate you. They transform you. They don't just make you feel good. They make you fundamentally different. When you truly understand that you can be like water, adaptable, but never defeated, you stop fighting circumstances and start flowing with them while maintaining your power. When you recognize that your mindset is your greatest asset, you stop being a victim of your thoughts and become their master. When you realize that the answers are already within you, you stop looking for external validation and start trusting your inner wisdom. When you learn to experience anger without being controlled by it, you become emotionally invincible. When you prepare to handle the worst, everything else becomes manageable. When you rule your mind instead of being ruled by it, you become truly free. And when you understand that you only fail when you stop trying, you become unstoppable. The choice that changes everything. Bruce Lee died just 3 months after delivering these teachings. He never had the chance to expand on them, to clarify them, to help people understand their deeper meaning. But maybe that was the point. Maybe the greatest teacher gives you the tools and trusts you to do the work. You have a choice right now. You can treat these as just nice quotes, pretty words, inspiring thoughts. You can nod your head, feel motivated for a moment, and then go back to living exactly as you were before. Or you can recognize them for what they truly are: a complete system for psychological transformation. A blueprint for becoming unstoppable. A map to the person you were always meant to be. The choice is yours, but choose carefully. Because once you truly understand what Bruce Lee was really teaching, there's no going back to the limited version of yourself. The question is, are you ready to be water? These weren't just Bruce Lee's last public words. They were his final gift to humanity. The question is, will you accept it?